Hello and welcome to Kitchen Counter Crafts. If you like this video, would you please like, comment, share, and subscribe? And if you will, would you hit the bell icon and it will notify you of new videos? And tonight, I'm doing some very late night crafting, and I've been making these little kind of matchbox books. Well, some of them are matchbox books. By that I mean they kind of tuck in like a matchbox. Well, they're supposed to. There we go. And so I've been making some of these and just kind of putting them into junk journals. And then, of course, I was trying to clean up my stack of never-ending scraps. And I found this one that was not done. And so this is another little book. And I just needed to add. And all you do is just take a look at all your scraps that are kind of laying around. And if they are the same size, good for you. If they are not, you can cut them down and make tiny little booklets like this. And I actually give them to one of my friends who keeps them in her purse and uses them. And not just one friend, but several others. So I kind of pass them out because I think it's just really useful that way. And also I have some scrapbook pads that have some of the cardstock, and I don't always know what to do with it other than make tags or journal covers. And so I make tiny little books out of them. So that's one. But then it got even tinier, and I wanted to show you how to make this tiny guy. So as I was cleaning up, I had this kind of thing that I was going to make tags out of. And so instead I thought, well, I'm just going to see how many I can cut this down to. And yes, they're all uneven sizes, but it doesn't matter because it's not all going to the same place. So really all I did was I kind of moved it into a shape like this. And this is actually really good cardstock. I think it's just packaging. So it's just packaging material. And so I just kind of moved it into this. And so this is the cover. And then of course you need pages in there. And so I put some 8.5 by 11 papers. So all you need is 8.5 by 11 paper, some cardstock, and a nice stapler. And so I just kind of eyeballed this. And I think this is about the same. Yeah, it's give or take. And so I'm just working with one piece at a time. I think that's just frugal me doing that. So I'm going to move that out of the way. And what I do is I leave that little red line on the 8.5 by 11 binder paper. And I just kind of eyeball it and take the dots out, the hole punches out. And then having to clear my throat. I think it's allergies. But let's see. You can either double it up just to save some time, or you can cut it one at a time, which I did that last time because I just wasn't sure how many I was going to get out of it. And it did a good job. So I think it's like in sixths is really what it comes out to be. So I'm going to just move that out of the way and cut that. And then I have this last bit left, which is also used here. And if it's not all that straight, or if you don't have that, you can tear these and they look really pretty, I think, when they're torn up as well. So this is a bunch of pages. And so what I do next is I fold it up. What in the world? I guess I got one that's just way off, but all right, this again, not going to matter. It's not going to matter at all. It's a tiny little book. And if people are gonna, I guess, judge you for that, then don't give it to them. Just use it for yourself. All right, so I'm just gonna, I didn't count out how many. I'm assuming it's about 10 or 12. And I actually do this. So I just folded it in there. And then I'm taking this and just cutting it. There we go. So I have all my papers in there. And what I'm going to do is find the center. And you can add all kinds of papers in here. If you wanted to add something colorful, you can. I'm just making these very plain. And as you can tell, my papers have some, they've left some space, which I'm totally fine with as well. So I'm going to just get the center and take my stapler and just put one in the middle. What just happened? Look at what I did. But you know what? That staple is good. So I'm going to probably stick some washi tape over that. Because, you know, those mistakes are pretty great, I think. So we are going to call that good. And this is still kind of sticking out. So just going to trim it a little bit more. That didn't do anything. Okay, so if you find yourself in this same predicament, what you're gonna do is go like this. And can you see how it's just completely uneven on both sides? There we go. Just gonna even it right up, kind of. All right, so now for the part that really makes it look, I think, more like a book. And that is my handy dandy pad and distressing it. Now, if you want to distress it the normal way people do it, I think that's great. I'm doing this the way I do it. And it's not just on camera that I'm doing this to save some time. I kind of do it this way off camera as well, just because I think it gives me the look that I'm wanting. And I don't have to spend much time to do it. And now I have it nice and distressed. You can just stop right there if you wanted, but I kind of like that old-fashioned look, so I am gonna add these. My pen's not cooperating. It's half full or half empty, I should say, and so sometimes it just has problems just kind of coming out. So I need to refill it. But what I'm doing is just adding these kind of you know, those old library book, kind of even like the Reader's Digest classics or something like that. Just adding those corners to it. The leather bound books, that's what I'm trying to say. That's it. There, my pen is flowing a little bit better now. Can you even see that? There we go. And I just kind of, again, eyeball it to make sure that these kind of look a little bit even. And don't forget the back. I think it's good to have it look uniform. I mean, again, this is for you. You know, but how cute would that be tucked into a junk journal too? I've done that in the past, and it is very charming. You could also make a charm out of it if you really want to be charming. I just think they're cute the way they are. Okay, and now if you don't have any more cardstock, again, you can stop right there. But I have a tiny, teeny little piece of cardstock, and I am going to attempt to make a tiny, teeny little tag. There we go. Eek. I can't believe that cuts it still that way. Okay, and then we're going to distress this as well. And just going to glue this on. sometimes you get in this crafting funk where you don't know what to do. And then other times you're, I don't know, painting and gluing and drawing and doing all kinds of stuff. It's one of those nights. So there's the little tiny book. Look at that. How cute is that? And if you wanted to, you can write something on there. I'm going to just leave it blank because I don't know what I'm going to use this for. But you can see how quick you can just quickly make these, and you can also put them in your purse and actually use them. You can put more paper than what I added, and it's, I mean, come on, it's just one sheet of binder paper, so you can make it as big or as small, or however you want to do it. You can use the same principle to make it just a little bit larger book, but I just think those tiny ones are so adorable. And this one ends up being right about 2 1/4 inches tall. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this tiny little tutorial on a tiny little book, and you know, you can tell me what you liked about it or loved about it, and if you're gonna go make one for yourself. So I think that would be just adorable. And until next time,